So in the previous video, we've learned about booleans. Now I will talk about little bit comparing values and how we can compare the values in JavaScript. So actually, we've seen in the previous video we can use three different sign, that was and a percent and then or and not. So with three main logical operators, we've learned how to compare. But right now we will learn mathematical operators. Then you have seen these operators in comparing values, comparing values or values comparing operators in math. But now I will show you that in JavaScript. So let's open up our Sublime text. Now Boolean, so values can be used to answer questions about numbers that have a simple yes or no answer. So first of all, I'm going to show you then this sign, that's the greater than. We can use this greater than with the simple example. Let's say variable, we have age, okay? So 30, then I'm going to write now variable in year, well, let's say year equals to 2020. So age and year. Now I'm going to compare with this sign that's greater than year. What do you think about that, guys? Is it true or false? 30 greater than 2020. So you know the answer, but we will check it in our console. That's the false, because 30 is not greater than 2020. If you will do that an opposite sign, that's the less than, that's true. So that's it as a math rules. So you know the math rules, how it works actually, and JavaScript to tell us whether the first value is greater than the second, and then otherwise the first value is less than the second. So that's the greater than and then less than. Another operator that's the equal to. So to find out if two numbers are exactly the same in, let's say, in JavaScript, use the triple equal sign. So that's the equal sign is 1, 2, 3. So triple equal sign, which means equal to. But be careful not to confuse three equal sign with a single equal sign. So you know why? Because in JavaScript we have three equal sign and one equal sign. That's the main difference there. One equal sign means save the value on the right and the variable on the left. So in other words, three equal sign asks a question while one equal sign assigns a value to a variable. So that's the main difference between three equal sign and one equal sign. And when you use one equal sign, a variable name has to be on the left, and the value you want to save to that variable must be on the right. So right now I will give some just example to see the difference. No difference. Let's write and the same example, or no. Let's give another example, guys, because that's a little bit complicated to understand actually how it works with the example. Now let's say I have my my number, okay. My number equals to 10, and I have my friends right now, and I want to ask them to find my number. So second variable, my friend 1 says that my number is 6. Okay, and I will compare right now my number equals 3 equals to my friend 1. Okay, what do you think? What will get result in our console? Take it and jump back over to browser. Result false, because my number 10 is not equals to my friend guess. So my friend tells that 6, that's not correct. So if I will change that, and if we say that my number, my friend 2 says that's 5, and we will do it again. My number equals, no, I mean 3 equals to my friend 2, we will get the same. Okay, or I will do that 10. If here my third number, third friend says that's the 10, I will get the result true, because my number is 10. So we can see the equal sign, how it works actually. And you can also use 3 equals number to compare two different booleans, and two different strings as well. And if you use 3 equal sign to compare to different types of, for example, a string and a number, it will always return false, because string and a number, that's not the same. So that will give you a false boolean. So double equals, that's a little bit confusing about double equals, guys. JavaScript operator double equals, that's or. So we have 3 equals and double equals. And let's write this example and show the difference. True. Okay, so JavaScript tries to compare two values with double equals. It first tries to make them the same type. In this case, it converts the boolean into a number. Okay, so if we give some, let's say 0 equals false, that's true. Okay, so but false as a string equals to false, that's absolutely false. So you can say that it's much easier than to use double equals than triple equals. It's really a little bit confusing, but you should understand actually the core and see how it works actually. And this is because when JavaScript tries to compare two values with double equals, it first tries to make them the same type. So what I mean the same type, JavaScript tries to convert and see that's a boolean or that's string or that's number or integer. I mean that. Okay, so in this case it converts the boolean into number, and if you convert booleans to number, false becomes 0 and a true becomes 1. That's the JavaScript core and the main thing about double equals and or comparing booleans with double equals. And so when you type 0 equals double equals false, you get true. And because of this complicated information in JavaScript, it's probably safest to just stick with triple equals for now. So that's all about logical operators, and then we've learned greater than, less than, and double equals, triple equals, and single equals. That's all about that. Comparing values. See you in the next one. So let's learn about booleans, guys. Now, for booleans, a boolean value is a simple, let's say, true or false, just only true or false. Either is simply a value that's either true or false. For example, I will give some boolean expression right now. Then we will check it in our console. Let's say I have var script. Let's say our script equals to true. Okay, that's our script true, and then script and script true. We got the result true. In this example, we've created a new variable called script and assigned the boolean value true to script, and then we get the value of script, which of course is true. So we can do some math with JavaScript. We can compare with or use logical operators and three main Boolean operators in JavaScript and do something interesting in with Boolean operators, guys. So now I'll tell you now the important. No, that's our screen recorder. Important Boolean operators. The first of all, I will talk about this operator. That's the AND operator, and we can call that AND. Okay, so that's the sign. We can use the ampersand sign for writing or comparing some just values. So I will give now to use simple example and understand actually how it works. So before you go to work, and you want to make sure that you have had your money for road, and then you have your own let's say phone. Okay, you should not forget to take your phone and your money. So that's why right now I will give some values. Variable had money equals to true, and variable your has, let's say, has phone equals to false. So if both are true, so if you've taken your money and phone, you can go to work. But if one or both are false, you can't leave your home and you cannot go to work. So we have money and phone. So I gave for money true and for phone false, and I will right now use this operator, Boolean operator, and compare them. That's AND. Okay, let's say had money in ampersand, then has phone. We can compare. One of them is true, second one is false. Could you leave home or not? Could you go to work or not? And then we can compare in our console and clear the console code, then result false, because you have one false, and if you leave your phone at home, you can't leave your home and you can't go to work. Okay, so that's our condition. But if you set the variable had money true and has phone true, let's do that, and I will change to true. You've taken your money and phone, you can go to work, true. that's the true. You can go to work, guys. Otherwise, if you forget your phone and money as well, let's do that false. That's the false. You can't leave your home, guys. So that's the first Boolean logical operator, that was AND. And the second one is OR, guys. And then for OR, I will use this sign. Okay, two. This means OR. It can pronounce or some pipes. We can call that. Programs normally call this one is pipe, and there are two pipes, so we can call that the pipes. Okay, so you can use this operator with two Boolean values to find out whether either one is true. Okay, because that's the OR. That's not AND. Okay, so for example, you're still getting ready to go to work, and you need to take some your dinner. Okay, or you need to take your dinner, but it doesn't matter. Take your for dinner. Let's say you can take some fruits, banana or apple. So it doesn't matter. You can use JavaScript to see whether you have at least one and see the result. So let's say you have had variable had banana, and you have second variable has apple. Okay, so now we have had banana. I will change it has banana. So we have one true and one false. And so what is the logic in this example? So it doesn't matter for you, banana or apple, because you have to take for your dinner. It doesn't matter you will take or not, but we should compare and understand how JavaScript accepts this example, and with this example you can understand completely how it works in JavaScript, how this operator, how OR operator works. So now we have had banana, and okay, now had to has banana, okay, and then has apple. So true, because it doesn't matter, you can take one of them. It doesn't matter one of the true or false. So has banana and has apple will be true if either banana or apple is true. Okay, or if both are true, that will be true. But if both are false, if you will not take, if you don't take something to your work or something to eat at dinner, that we will get the result false, because you should take one of them or both of them in for getting true. But if you will leave and forget to take something, some fruit, that will get the result false. We can check it again here. So let's say you forgot to take your dinner. What was the result in our console? Result, and then do it again because we had an error here. Then because that was had banana, we need has banana. Okay, the false, guys. So that's the OR operator, how works. The last one is not, and I will just means not. That's the exclamation mark. Let's show you guys. Exclamation mark just means note. You can call it note, and lots of people calls that bang. So because exclamation point is sometimes called a bang, then you can use it to turn false into true or true into false. This is useful for working with values and that are opposites. For example, we can do it in an opposite way, comparing something opposite. Okay, so let's compare the same thing. We have true, has banana false and has apple false. No, that will be complicated if you want to understand with exclamation mark how it works. And let's say, just an example, let's say we can set the variable is weekend, or let's say is weekend. Let's take weekend to true. Variable is weekend, okay, equals to true. We have weekend, and variable go to movie. Go to movie today equals to exclamation mark is weekend. So go to, are we going to do today or not? Let's check it in console. Clear that? Yeah, we will get false. In this example, we set the variable is weekend to true. Then we set the variable go to movie today to exclamation mark is weekend. I mean not is weekend. The bank, this exclamation mark, converts the value to its opposite. So if is weekend is true, then exclamation mark is weekend is not true. That's false. That's false, okay? If it's true, that's false. If it's false, is weekend is false. Exclamation mark is weekend is true. So when we ask for the value of go to movie today, we get false. So you don't need you don't go to movie today because it's the weekend. All right. So because go to movie today is false, and exclamation mark go to movie today will be true. So let's check it again. Go to movie today, that's false. Exclamation mark go to movie today, that's true. In other words, it's true that you don't go to movie today. That's the Boolean operators, and then we've just learned about how we can actually compare them, guys. That's all. See you in the next one. That's a short video about Undefined and Null. So if you remember, we faced with you guys in JavaScript undefined. So that was, for example, var name, that's undefined, and then name, right? That was from previous video. It was remembered by console. So undefined, guys, that's two values, undefined and null, that don't fit any particular mold. So they mean both used to mean nothing. So but undefined means nothing and null means nothing in slightly different ways. But undefined is a value JavaScript doesn't JavaScript uses when it doesn't have a value for something. I've written over here, for example, var surname. So I have variable in this keyword and then surname, but I don't have any value for surname. So let's write surname, this part. All right. So that's from previous, and then I'm going to clear it up, and then let's write variable car, let's say car model, yeah, undefined. So we have undefined, and then we have variable car because we don't have any value for this car, and a car model, let's say, and but that's the undefined. If you don't assign any value to your variable, that will give you undefined, guys. But the null value is usually when you want to say that's empty. So let's say var home in equals to null in home null. So what that means, actually, null is used only when you want to say something that's not there, and which is very helpful for understanding literally meaning of something. So and you will not be using undefined or null too much often, but you will say undefined if you create a variable and don't see its with its value. But because undefined is what JavaScript will always give you when it doesn't have a value. But null, if you feel the need to set any variable to nothing, so 0, let's say, not 0, that's 0 is value, but nothing, you should use null instead. For null is used only when you actually won't say something's not there. That's all about null and undefined, guys. So in the next video we will learn about if statement.